lovely spring day in South Sweden, Öland, and I decided to go out to the range. I have a competition or two competitions coming up next weekend. We're heading up there to the 50 and 100 meter shooting in range and see what we can do. If we can't do it today, we can do it tomorrow. And as you can see, the weather is changing pretty fast here on the island. For those who've been around this island as a tourist or as a visitor, you know this place. Öland, it's very famous. They even got their own TV show. As you can see, we're in the middle of nowhere. This is on the countryside, and on the way in here is also, oh, there was something running over the road. I think that was a deer. So I was just about to say this is hunting grounds also. On the range we also have a pistol club. We share the grounds with them. So maybe later on, let's see if I apply for a membership and start shooting pistols again. It's 10 minutes from home, so why not? Shooting in. Okay, seems like we're alone. On the right side here is the pistol club. I like to have the range for myself. On the right side we have the moving target, the elk and the pig and the deer, or whatever you want to call it. So here we are. That's the 100 meter shooting in thing. This is for a 6.5. I'm gonna sight here and set it to 300 meters and probably hopefully hit somewhere here, something 50-ish centimeters up from where I'm sighting. If I sight here and hit here, I'm probably pretty okay, so I can go down to the long range where I sight in normally, and then I know I'm on the target anyway. So that's my goal for today. And the 22 we shoot here or somewhere down here or wherever I decide to shoot. So that's set up. So let's go down. There in the middle in the foreground, that's 50 meters. The red building there with the sighting in thing under the roof is 80, and then that's 100 meters. I'm gonna try to put on my accessory rail, which I built. You can see that in a previous clip on the channel, which this is basically an old camera monopod that I modified. Picatinny rail and a camera, should be this way, Picatinny. Camera mount, Manfrotto camera mount for my tripod, my carbon fiber tripod, so I can put it on here. And I put this part, I clip it on here. And this thing goes on there. This, the bipod, on here. So let's see what we have here. Okay. The rifle is, the scope has a previous setting on 300 meters. And basically I haven't moved that scope too much. So I'm going to check. I set it to 300 meters. And as I showed you before, I'm going to aim about 50 centimeters low. And I hope to see my hits about 50 centimeters over where I'm aiming. If I'm about there, 45, 50, 55, I know I can take the rifle to the longer shooting range and do a proper sighting in. Then I know I'm on target anyway on 300. So I should be on target, and when I've done that, I'm gonna move over there to the 50 meter. So this rifle here is, this is an old Mauser M96, this part. We use that on Swedish field shooting, Swedish field shooting, or Scandinavian target rifle. You can see more about that in a previous clip on a range visit. I explained a little more about the STR, Swedish target rifle. But in short, it has its roots in military, and we're shooting the Mauser, the Swedish Mauser cartridge. This is developed by the Swedish and the Norwegian army back in the late 18th century or 19th, in the beginning of the 1900s. And this is 6.555 Mauser. They made it smaller than the 8 by 57 German Mauser. They figured out, the Swedish and Norwegians, that a smaller cartridge shoots straighter, have a better BC, and is more than enough to shooting up to about 300 meters, where they were thinking like the most battles are inside 300 meters. You can carry more ammo, it's more flat shooting, and so they developed this cartridge, and that's what we use on Scandinavian target rifle. So this rifle is an old Mauser, only this part and the bolt is modified. The barrel is a Sauer barrel, and the stock was also developed by the FSR, the Frivilliga Skytterörelsen, and it's the last iteration of the stock, and this is from back from 89, hence the name FSR 1989. And by 89, the Swedish Target Shooting Association issued a call for somebody to manufacture a special rifle developed for this type of shooting competition with a little more secure bolt. This bolt only it's a Mauser bolt, only have two locks, and they wanted to have more safety. So 6 Sauer developed the STR 200 rifle, which is just developed for this competition form. Actually, the Sauer bolt locks on to the barrel end, so it's way more safe. We had some accidents with these old Mauser, people who did do their own loading and they overloaded the cartridge, and we had some incidents where the bolt was actually blowing backwards. I don't know if we had any fatalities, but we had some serious injuries from that. So when you're shooting the old Mausers, never use overload ammo. Actually, Norma have a range of cartridges, especially for a 6.555 Swedish Mauser, so use them. They're not overloaded, they're pretty slow. They're like 790, 800 meters per second, which is in 2,600 feet per second, something like that range at the muzzle. So enough talking. Let's do some shooting. Tell. Let's give it another one. So I was aiming here, and my hits were here, basically pretty close to each other, which is good. I'm a little confused now because this is about a good 22 centimeters high, and due to my calculations that I had from before, was like I should be up there, but then I checked my Straylock application on my phone, and it said if I'm sighted in at 300, which I'm looking for to be, I should be 16.5 centimeters. I should go down from the 300 meter zero, 16.5 centimeters to hit 100, which is here where I was aiming. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click down. I have a previous setting on 100 and see if I'm in this area. If I'm somewhere here, I know it's enough for me to be on target on the long range where I'm going next week. Back at the rifle again. I did tell you about the cartridges. I did tell you about the rifle. I didn't tell you about this thing. As you can see, it has a funny thing on top, the wheel there. So for those who know, this is a field target scope, which I use on field target airgun competitions before. I'm not a rich guy, so I use what I have. And this scope is a Falcon T50, which is pretty much a dedicated scope to field target shooters, I would say. It's kind of strange because it has, now there's a special turret on, you can see my marking, 300 marking, but it has a magnification of 10 by 50 and a 60mm lens. Oh, now the rain is coming. And it has a milliradian reticle, like a standard US Marine Corps reticle with just 5 dots, 5 MOA dots, nothing special, but it's in milliradian. But my turrets are in MOA, so it kind of messes it up. I'm gonna set it to 200 anyway and see if I'm around that target there, which I showed you where I'm aiming. So I should be in that area anyway. So let's do it. So my B camera, the old Android, seemed to die on me when I did the clip, so I have to redo the clip again. So I'm going to give it another 2. So don't get confused when we're going over there. We're going to hopefully see 4 holes, not 2. But I'm going to shoot 2 now. These type of rifles cock the trigger on close, not on like the most modern rifles. They cock the trigger on open. So when you open your bolt normally, you cock the trigger for your next shot. The spring is cocked. On these rifles, you cock it when you close the bolt, and it makes them really, you have to fight them just to be able to close the bolt. But anyway, that's the way it is. It's an old rifle, and it was designed back in 1894. Many people believe, since the name of this rifle is M96, M for Mauser, and 96 is the year it was designed. That's not true. It was designed in 94, but it was adopted by the Swedish and Norwegian army in 1896. So there you have the name, M96. So let's shoot the M96. Yeah, I can see from here it's about a good inch lower. So I will give it another one. They're more low. Maybe I can do a new setting for this cartridge while I'm doing this. Around there, and I can put a little marker with my pen. Why not? Now you can see when I'm cocking this how hard it is to cock, because it's cocking on close. Like that. All right. Let's give it another one. Whoa! Holy moly, dead center. Cool. So I'm going to do a marking. Always bring a pen in your pocket. So this is my new setting for this cartridge, and I have my old. I'm going to leave it there because when I get hold of that ammunition, which I normally shoot with, I'm going to shoot it. So I have new settings, and I can see. I was thinking wrong because this is the other bullets are 124 grains, and these are 100 grains. So yeah, I actually have to go down. They're shooting higher. So, but I should be on target on the 300-meter targets when I'm getting out to the long range. Well, now I'm confused. I probably took my first or last shots, probably my first shots, down on this target where I should be. I think I should be in there. You can see one is before the adjustment, one is lower. That I was talking about a good inch, or maybe that's not even an inch. And then I took a couple more shots and ended up here. And this is definitely after some adjustment. I think. And this is a bigger hole, so this must be at least 2. So since I'm confused, I think I'm gonna patch these up first and maybe shoot here on this middle target, take like 3 or 4, 3 rounds at least, and just before I close the 6.5 session. And if I'm here and not somewhere else, because this is confusing me right now, if I'm here on the target where I'm aiming with 3 shots, then I'm gonna close the session with a 6.5 today. I know I'm gonna for sure be on the 300-meter target next week. Do some fine adjustments, and I'm ready for competition next Saturday. That's in 1 week. I've only done like target competitions, like track competition, which is prone, always fixed on 300 meters. I've done a lot of that with this thing, but never a full field competition like we do with 22 LRs. We're walking around in the woods and have unknown distances to the targets, so we have to calculate the distance, do our clicking, and try to shoot the target. And that's what we're gonna do on Saturday with this thing. And on Sunday it's going to be the same thing, but in 22, and that thing I know. And the next after checking this thing is we're going to shoot in the 22 LR for that competition. So but let's give this 3 more shots, or let's patch it up first and 3 more shots. Okay, let's do it. So a day in an ordinary shooter's life. My tripod mount for my phone on the other tripod broke. So luckily I had my photo tripod in my car, and I tried to patch up my iPhone there, so I hope you can see me, guys. The targets are patched up over there, and I'm going to give it 3 more shots, and I'm going to try to keep myself on the same target with all 3 shots. All right, this time no more fuck ups. Another cock on close. Oh goddamn, these are so hard to cock. Okay. Fuck. I'm not even at the target. What the? Okay. I couldn't see it in the scope here. I kind of have the sun halfway into my scope, even if I have like 2 rings of sunshade here. Actually, I was on target, and I was just 1 centimeter below the center point, and I did patch the target up, so I'm quite sure that all wasn't there before. So what I'm going to do is give it 2 more, and if I'm there, I'm happy. Let's do the sighting in next week. My basic idea was come here not to waste a lot of ammo, and just to get a feel of if it's enough for doing the proper real sighting in on the 300-meter target next week. And I'm already started to waste ammo, but it was fun shooting this thing. I haven't been shooting this thing for 6 to 8 months, something like last fall. So at the same time I'm wasting some ammo, I practice, and I do enjoy it. How much do I have? I have like 4 cartridges. Let's shoot them. And then I open a new box when I go for the competition. Or maybe I save these 3 for sighting in, if I can sight in on 3. No, I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna give it 2 more, and then I have 1 left. No idea saving cartridges. Let's do this. Oh, so ready to go. And maybe, yeah, Give it one more. And the last two on the target below it. Oh, I dropped the cartridge. There you are, my little nasty friend. I saved these two for the target in the bottom. Then I can confirm this thing is working. Oh, as I said, I can't see it from here, so let's put in two in this double stack magazine. Oh, they always jam up. Let's do single loading instead. Okay, aiming for the two in the bottom now, and see if I'm on that target with the last two, then everything is okay. And the last one. A little wind picking up, but it shouldn't affect this thing too much. The wind is from that way, left to right. Okay, that was that. Let's check it out. So I was a little confused before between these two targets, but now I kept track of where I was aiming, and I gave it 3 shots on the middle target, and those are here. Yeah, basically connecting. Those are a little low. I was aiming here, but let's see down here. These are more spread out. I think I relaxed a little there, but it's still here in this area where I want to be. So that confirms I'm on the target and enough for sighting in on the big target next week. So that closes the 6.555 session. Let's throw my shit over there in my car and drive up here to the 50-meter bench while we have some sun warming up my frozen body. Not buddy, my body, my frozen body. You have to excuse me for my language, guys, but I'm not native English speaking, so I try to speak English for you guys so you understand something of what I'm saying anyway. So let's do this. Throw my shit in the car, take the car, drive over to the 50-meter bench. Nice. So I did a couple of test shots with the Norma 2s, which are all over the place. These are my first shots up there, and I moved down there, and it was about right in height, and then I moved up to this target, and these are 10 shots on 50 meters, which is not too good. And I can hear on the sound, some is always cracking, the sound barrier, and some are like fluff, very low. So we're gonna switch to SK long rifle, which is the ammo I use for competition, and I try to give you some scope cam footage if possible, and I'm gonna take some shots. So while I fix a little, the sun just did go away behind the clouds. It's afternoon, so it's gonna get even colder and darker pretty soon. So what I'm gonna do is take a couple of control shots, do some fine adjusting on my turret, and then I'm gonna try to give you some scope cam with my new built thing, piece of plastic tube, a very cheap kind of holder for your phone, and what you do is thread it on here and you wiggle around a little with it, and hopefully you get some kind of decent or half decent scope footage. I'm going to try it out anyway, so you guys are going to be the first one to see if it works. But I'm going to do a couple of corrections just before I do this, because it's really not easy to sit and, you know, aim with your phone. That's not the way of shooting in my rifle before the competition. So I'm going to do a couple of proper shots and then I'm going to switch to the scope cam. All right? And now I did put in some SKs, long range, which is my preferred cartridge for this rifle. I didn't talk too much about this rifle. It's an Anschutz German rifle. Comes this model, a special model, is called MPR, which stands for multi-purpose rifle, which is a kind of an odd name, I think, because it doesn't do hunting pretty good, so it's not multi and not doing target shooting too good. It's not doing anything good, basically, not with this stock. This is like a special beaver tail stock. Good for hunting, but the rifle is way too heavy with this setup. I guess it's around 6.5 kilograms, so it's more of a bench gun. And the issue with the stock is, like, it's when you shoot it wants to move around in the back end. It's just a 22, but it still want to move too much, and you have to hold it pretty firmly. And with a 22 you should be able to be pretty relaxed in your shooting position and just focus on your trigger technique and your breathing and stuff. And I really have to fight this and push it down with my chin, and of course it's hard to get consistency when you shoot like that. So the first step is going to be a plastic bedding of the stock and see if that helps. And well, if there's money enough, I would like to get a GRS stock done for this rifle, because there are no chassis, no stocks for these Anschutz MPR 64s available. And what differs them from other Anschutzes with the same 64 mechanism and the match barrel is the setting of the trigger. It's a little more way back, so you can't get any chassis for that or any stocks. But GRS have like a pre-made stock, and if you find the right gunsmith, you can bring your own old stock, and they put this in some kind of machine where the old stock is here and the new one is there. And same principle when you make key copies, basically. It's kind of doing all the hole and inlets in the new stock and following the old one. So that's on the wish list. There's many things on the wish list. As you know, right now is the Pantera in 30 cal with a 700mm barrel on the wish list too, which I need for my commercial side of the thing for pest control. But I do love to shoot this thing on competitions. What I did do here, you see, I put my accessory rail on. I moved it over from my 6.5, and what it basically does, it makes the tripod come more forward, and you get a more stable shooting platform with that. So enough talking, let's do some shooting. SK long range. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't tell you about the scope. This is also a field target scope. Basically the same setup as the other one on the 6.5. It's a 10 by 50 by 60, also a second focal plane like that other one is. Very field target focus scope with a special turret top on with markings and, you know, different distances and stuff. And oh, there it is. Oh, my side turret lock or cover. So it's a Nico Sterling diamond. It also have a milliradian reticle, the same type with 5 dots. Nothing finer than that. And the turrets, of course, are MOA, which still is a problem for me. But anyway, let's do some shooting. Give it 2 more. Let's give it 5. Well, height-wise, pretty okay. Maybe some wind, but anyway, before competition, I have to adjust wind. Anyway, so I don't gonna bother about that one. Well, 2 on the side, a little low to the right, could be the wind. 3 hits on top of each other in the bullseye, on top of each other stacked. So I'm happy with that. So let's put this thing on and see if I can give you some shot cam footage. I'm probably gonna need my glasses for that. So, but the camera, where is my camera? The camera is over there, watching this way. So I'm gonna cut, get my glasses, put the camera on here, okay? I never shot this on video, so I'm zoomed in now. It looks pretty crappy, but I'm gonna sit there and give it a shot there. It's really hard to see where I am aiming. Wiggling around here. Okay. Take another one. I can't see from here if I'm hitting at all, but it looks like I'm on target as far as I can see. Oh, I pulled that one. So what I'm gonna do is zoom out to get a clearer picture like that. Yeah. But then it's very, very far away. Let's see if I can adjust focus a little. Something I can't really see if that's better. Gonna give it a couple more shots. Like this, more easy to see the target right now. I don't think this is gonna work on the 6.5 because it's kicking too hard. But here it seems to work fine. Another one. Okay. Why, like, was it empty already? Yeah, of course it was. Okay, so this is the target up here, which I was aiming for. And well, considering I was wiggling behind the camera display and try to see anything, and the scope footage is pretty crappy, it's not too bad. I'm not going to use this camera setup for competition for sure, but maybe I can document a rabbit or a bird or something. I think that's going to be pretty much what we do today. I'm going to go back home, I have pest birds on my property, see if anything is around, and that's going to be our next episode. And today's episode was kind of long, but when I was asking you guys what you want to see, I got some answers like, we want to hang out with you on the range, hear you talk about the range, talk about your rifles and what you're doing, and see some shooting, like ordinary everyday clips. And that's what we got today. So even if it's a long episode, maybe fun for you guys who are still sitting in the winter, can't get out and shoot, you still see some footage of shooting. So catch you on the next one.